The Pillars process works best with groups that are already established. They may be women's or men's groups, church-based groups, self-help groups, cooperatives, farmers groups, microcredit, literacy or youth groups. Siam Care in Thailand have translated guides and Bible studies into Thai and used the Pillars process with youth and women's groups. They found the guide on building local capacity helped their local community groups to become more effective and efficient. ACTS in Burkina Faso have translated guides into the Moray language and used them to share information on food security and also as support materials for literacy groups. In Yambio, southern Sudan, a cross translated several guides into the Zonde language. The guide on credit and loans has been useful in establishing small grain and food stores. In Peru, Warmis have found that using Pillars guides not only helps the women's groups to learn about nutrition, health and hygiene, but is also a great way of improving literacy levels. They download pages in Spanish from the internet, using Tearfund's TILS website, photocopy these and use them with their women's groups. People hear about the Pillars process through many different ways. Word of mouth, the internet, through Tearfund, and through footsteps. The Pillars process is designed to enable groups to work together, learn together, and act together through a process that doesn't depend on literacy or particular skills. At the heart of the process are clear and practical guides. The guides are divided into double-page sections for each topic. Each double page contains an illustration which helps to gain the interest of people who are not literate. There's a short explanation to read out, providing information and ideas, so one person in the group needs to be able to read. Most of the learning for each topic comes through discussion questions and practical activities. These help people to participate in understanding issues and challenges in their own community. All the Pillars guides include Bible studies to provide a biblical perspective, helping groups to see the connections between their actions and their Christian faith. Making use of the material requires just one person in each group who is able to read. The language used in the guides is very straightforward, making it easy to understand for people who may not have had the benefit of much formal education. Groups using Pillars find that it helps them to work together, discuss together and learn together. It helps them to focus on how they interpret biblical teaching in their communities, putting integral mission into practice. It helps them to mobilize their churches and their communities together, and it helps them to address issues that matter to their communities. Pillars guides cover a range of subjects including agroforestry, building the capacity of local groups, credit and loans for small businesses, encouraging good hygiene and sanitation, healthy eating, improving food security, mobilizing the church, mobilizing the community, preparing for disaster, responding more effectively to HIV and AIDS, seeking justice for all. The Pillars process is all about participation and discussion. This usually works much better if people are relaxed. Games or energizers, songs and local proverbs are all ways of relaxing people, either at the beginning of a meeting or during a meeting. For example, using this sheet on the role of the church in responding to HIV and AIDS, a group could introduce this with a brief role play, and after discussion, agree to repeat this role play to share their learning in the wider community. As well as discussion and role play, the Pillars process often includes activities such as practical work or exercises. These help all group members to feel part of the process, and they're learning without needing literacy skills and formal education. The activities tap into the ideas and insights of the group and help them to look at their situation and work out together what they need to do to move on. Role plays are a great way of encouraging learning. They are a powerful way of sharing information. This can often be about very personal issues, which are much easier to share in a role play. Good role plays should be short and focused. They are often funny to watch, which helps learning. The Secret in a Box roleplay highlights the knowledge and experience of community members, giving them a unique insight into their own situation. The Crossing the River roleplay helps people to realise that they themselves need to gain knowledge that can stay with them in the community, rather than depending on outside help. The guides are based on experience and understanding from a wide range of situations. Their strength is in helping groups to combine this knowledge with their own ideas and experience, using it to mobilise their communities and churches. It's all about self-belief, developing the confidence that many of the answers can be found locally. For example, Cares, a Tier Fund partner in Mumbai, used the Hindi translation of Preparing for Disaster and helped women's groups to map their local communities and to discuss what needed to change in their areas to prepare for flooding.